Oh, damn. Okay, that was my bad. Sorry about that. Hi everyone. My name is Chris, and I am here to introduce my project for Studio One. Liminal is the culmination of my experimentation this semester. My chosen path of inquiry revolved around expressing the feelings of nostalgia and exploring how that can be represented through gameplay mechanics. I really love when an artistic medium is fully utilized in order to tell a story. When considering this as a part of the creative process, I feel like a body of work becomes much more playful and engages the viewer to a degree which would be hard to replicate otherwise. This can be done through subtle techniques, like how in this scene in Mad Max Fury Road, director George Miller manipulates and reduces the frame rate, which is a film-centric convention, in order to match the frantic, high-octane energy of this chase scene. Now, as for me, I wanted the mechanics to play an important role and contribute most to the story being told. The premise of Liminal being that you are moving out of home for the first time, preparing to enter the next stage of your life. The landscape is a fragmented, abstract representation of my childhood home, littered with objects of sentimental value. The most important amongst them all is my first ever teddy, Jason. He is the key object in the game and the central figure that the theme of nostalgia clings onto. Teddy bears are a recognizable symbol of youth, and it makes sense that to hold onto this teddy in-game, the player is in turn holding onto the sentiments they once had many years ago. Liminal is a journey of introspection as you transport the teddy towards the moving van, in preparation to move on to work or study or whatever you choose to do post-high school. In regards to representing nostalgia through gameplay as per my inquiry, I have included time change mechanics. I was heavily inspired by the 2D platformer Braid, developed by Jonathan Blow, where the game ties this mechanic into the more conceptual elements of the story, being a metaphor for the development cycle of making games and the often tiring and repetitive struggle to pursue commercial success as an indie dev in the gaming industry. Liminal's color palette came about after I had come back from seeing the 2023 film After Sun, directed by Charlotte Wells. The film recounts a father-daughter holiday and is shown in parts through home video footage. For me, what I noticed was that the lighting was really effective at capturing the contrast between the happy and sad moments which inhabit the child and adult characters respectively. Inspired by these things, in Liminal there's a contrast between the two states of being. Without the teddy, the colours are muted and everything moves too quickly. This is an expression of how it can feel being an adult. Life seems to move too fast, with no breaks, and it can leave you feeling dim. On the other hand, when the player holds the teddy, everything instantly feels warmer. Things slow down again just like you feel they did when you were younger. Those moments you remember fondly as a kid seeming frozen in time. By holding on to those memories or those parts of yourself, literally in this case, I'm saying that you can traverse the challenge life presents you. Now, as for my own practice, I really enjoy creating this. A lot of the process was just reflecting on my own childhood and what key things I thought to include that represent what nostalgia meant to me personally. During the production of my game, I had the one remaining pillar of design, the gameplay, that I wanted to tackle in order to answer my inquiry, and my weekly experiments mainly focused on what would support this best. I tested different post-processing effects for the environment to enhance the two atmospheres and considered sound design, adding the ambient sounds in each room and pitch shifting the background audio, two important elements that offer feedback to the player. But enough of me telling you about my game, let's get into gameplay mode and give it a go.
We're kind of low on time, so this will be my attempt at the first ever speedrun of my own game. So without further ado, let's get into it. Our first obstacle immediately is this unskippable cutscene, but that's okay because I want you to watch it. It's kind of setting the scene, so you know there's an important date coming up. There's this mostly empty house and a moving van that we probably want to move towards, and a teddy bear, which is the key object in this game. So this last shot kind of keeps it front of mind as you move into the game. So as you spawn in, you see it's kind of this void, this grey, dull landscape, and we see this thing asking us to press E, so let's do that. Wowee, there you go. So there are kind of two states. This is, represents adulthood. It's like, everything moves so fast and it's all grey and miserable, and when you pick up your teddy, everything's warm and nostalgic. And going between those two states, you can solve these puzzles. So holding the teddy makes these a lot easier to move on. And these puzzles are kind of bridging the gap between these little pockets of memories. This is like the living room, a show I used to watch. Here's this really ugly green couch we used to have. Even though it was ugly, I still liked it. And we can move on to the next puzzle, which is these purple mysterious voids shooting out objects. If I drop the teddy, you'll see that they come out really fast and it's hard to pass. But if you're holding the teddy, you have more time and you can easily pass through. Some other stuff going on in here, but from my tennis days, playing games as a kid. This puzzle works in reverse, so when I drop the teddy, it moves a lot slower. So in order to pass, I need to drop the teddy through here, and then I can walk through and pick it up. This last one is the cardboard box to send us off to the moving van, and this kind of combines the first two puzzles, so it's helpful for avoiding these obstacles, and I can kind of move around and make my way across to the end. So yeah, really hoping I'm getting world record pace so far. Kind of want to get myself onto leaderboards. Phew, avoid that one, and we're on the home stretch. Sweet. Okay, awkward silence. All right, let's go. And that is time. Sweet. If anyone wants to try and beat that, feel free. Best of luck to you. And as our teddy fades off in the sunset, we can reflect on everything and credits. So thank you very much. And back to Chris in the studio.
Thanks, Chris, not in the studio. Overall, I'm quite happy with what I was able to achieve this semester. It's cool seeing what I submitted for Folio 1 versus Folio 2, being able to complete a finished-ish product with both the title screen, intro, and credits scene. If we had some more time available, I'd love to be able to push this concept further. I feel my environmental storytelling could be stronger, and I'd love to keep adding things to the scene that help give each room a sense of individuality. My brain also absolutely refused to come up with any more puzzle ideas, but I'd love to push the mechanic further and find other ways to incorporate picking up and dropping the teddy into the gameplay. And that's my Studio One project. I better head off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.